Hello again everyone, it's Summer Bimshire speaking. In today's video, I'll be making the carrot sweet potato bread again. In this attempt, I'm a lot happier with this batch than the first batch. Definitely satisfied, hope you are too, but there's always room for a lot more improvement. Let's get into the video. In a mixing bowl here, I have 4 cups of white flour, but you can use whole wheat flour if you like. I then proceeded to add half teaspoon of salt and then 2 tablespoons of butter. I use garlic butter for this batch for more flavor, but you could use any butter you want to. Then I added 2 tablespoons of sunflower oil, but you could use vegetable oil, olive oil, any oil you want to. Then 1 tablespoon of sugar, brown sugar, you could use white sugar. I added in some lukewarm water to sugar and added in the yeast so the yeast can have something to feed on so it can be activated. Now I'm moving on to the most important step I forgot in attempt 1. I am adding in the carrot sweet potato pulp. I add in 3/4 cup. But when it comes to pulp bread, I would encourage you viewers to add in 1+ cup of pulp because the bread will have more flavor. The flavor was not bad, but I still wanted more flavor. After adding in the pulp, I added in the yeast, the sugar, and the water. And now I'm just currently mixing it, trying to get everything together, everything off of the bowl. Now it's time to knead the bread. I kneaded the bread for 10 minutes, rolled it in a nice ball, put some plastic wrap on it, and put it in a warm place to rise for 1 hour. After 1 hour, I decided to test the dough, do the spring test with my finger. It wasn't bouncing back. So I decided to knead it for 8 more minutes and put it to rise for 1 more hour. Bread making is a science and it's important to understand that if the dough is too cold, the yeast will take too long to ferment. And if the dough is too warm, the yeast will ferment too quickly. Also too, instead of rolling the dough in a ball, you could try folding it because that makes it more cohesive. Right now, I'm deciding to do the spring test again after the second set of kneading. And as you can see, I'm getting ready to poke it. And it is bouncing back, but I'm gonna get some light now. Ta-da! Cheese on bread. I'm poking it and you see it's springing back, so it is ready to go. Once that springs back, it's definitely ready to go. Haha. Yeah, people, so definitely don't set your oven so high. I should have left it at 350 degrees Fahrenheit, but I went with 450, which was definitely too high for just mini salt bread. The dough is pulling and snapping back, which is a good thing because you need that elastic quality when it comes to bread. Time to roll out. So right here, I'm going for the mini salt bread shape. If you want the same size salt breads, the best thing to do is to get a scale, weigh it by ounce, whether it be by 4 ounce or 5 ounce, and then roll it into a ball so you can get the same size salt bread. Just adding on to my point about cohesion. Cohesion leads to development, and development helps gluten form a network. And that network will help trap gas that is produced in the fermentation process. And that is a good thing because remember, yeast is a living organism. And you definitely need to make favorable conditions in order for the yeast to ferment. You definitely don't want your yeast catching an attitude on you and be like, oh, not today, it's too cold, it's too warm, let me do what I want. Bread looking on fleek, just about ready to go in the oven. But first, I'm going to wrap it with plastic wrap and put a towel over it and let it cool for 10 more minutes. Another thing you could try too with yeast bread when baking. Put some water in the pan and put it in the oven so the water can start to steam. And what steaming does, it actually gelatinizes the dough and helps the dough form without cracking. You can steam your bread for the quarter of the baking process, half, or the entire baking process. It's really up to you. As you can see, I put the bread in the oven and I put it in for 10 minutes. Then I checked on it. As I mentioned before, the temperature was definitely too high. So this is how it looked after 10 minutes at 415 degrees. I then put it back in the oven for another 8 to 10 minutes at 415 degrees, and this was the result here. I decided to cut the bread to see how inside was. It was still a bit damp on the inside. As a result, I decided to turn down the oven to 315 degrees Fahrenheit and put in again at 8 minutes. So this is the result after 8 minutes.
heater.
Still not satisfied with the inside texture, so I put it in one more time, 350 degrees, 8 minutes, top shelf. And this is the final result after all of that confusion with baking. The bread had a very great flavor, but the texture wasn't that great. But cheers to those who never give up. The inside of the bread was dense, but it was definitely cooked through. Hi peoples, it's me again, Summer Bimshire. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more content on agriculture, videos on dietetics, fitness. You know how I keep it, you know the thing.